Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I am a food and wellness blogger, but I also share a lot of mommy content, especially over here on YouTube. If you want more food content, definitely head over to my Instagram because it's primarily recipes. Today I want to share 9 things I wish I knew before having a baby. The first thing that I wish I knew was that it takes time to create a bond with your baby. The reality is you guys are strangers. I think as a mom, we want to just be the baby's everything from the beginning, which you are, but it's still a relationship and relationships take time. You have to nurture them. You don't know him, he doesn't know you. Yes, he grew in my stomach for 9 months. Yes, he knows my scent, he's heard my voice, but we're still strangers. And I think I felt a lot of guilt because it wasn't like as soon as he was born, we had this instant connection. It wasn't that way with my pregnancy either. I know some people feel really connected to their belly. I didn't feel that way and I felt a lot of guilt. It took weeks for me to really feel like a strong bond with Isaiah, and there is nothing wrong with you. Now that he's 4 months old, we have an incredible bond, and I just wish I would have known ahead of time that what I felt in the beginning was totally normal. The second thing I wish I knew before having a baby is that you will most likely have an identity crisis. I know I had a really big one and it's still something that I struggle with, especially being such a career-driven mom. I put everything into my business the last 3 years and then it just felt like in an instant it was gone, even though I know that's not the reality, but at the time it just felt like everything was now 24/7 baby. It was all I could think about, talk about, was doing, researching. I was just completely encompassed in this newborn baby land. But it definitely made me realize why our parents are so out of touch, because I literally had no idea what was going on in the world for the first 3 months or so. Michael would be like, hey, did you hear? And literally I would just cut him off and be like, odds are, no, I did not hear, because all I'm doing is researching if his poop is normal, his spit up, how he should be sleeping, if he's eating enough, just like all I'm doing is researching baby things. So finding that balance between being a mom, but also being your own person outside of a mom is really, really tough. Like I said, he's 4 months old now, and I feel like I'm just now kind of getting a grip on how to balance it all, and I'm feeling those pieces of me come back. Whereas I definitely lost them in the beginning because I was so in baby land. Trust your husband and compliment him on how well he is doing with the baby. This is something that I struggle with, not because I don't think Michael is an amazing dad, but just as my own issue. I am such a control freak and I had a certain way I wanted things done, and I was constantly researching and reading and just felt like things had to be done in order, a certain way for that, I don't know, so that Isaiah would hit all his milestones and do all this stuff. And I wish that I had just relinquished that control and trusted Michael more. So this is more of a do as I say, not as I do or did. Also, what works for you and baby isn't gonna work for dad and baby. So things that they do together a lot are like, Michael's really good with doing tummy time with him and doing airplane around the house and just like throwing him up in the air and stuff that I don't really do with him. And Isaiah loves it. And he's also very patient with him, especially at the end of the day when he comes home and I'm just exhausted because I've been with him all day. He's just really, really good at having that patience. Just trust your husband and give him that confidence, especially early on. Another thing I seriously wish I knew more about is breastfeeding and just how much of a full-time job it is. It is wild. I made a YouTube video all about breastfeeding already, and so I've said a lot over there, but oh my gosh, it's the craziest journey ever. I'm very type A, but for some reason I didn't research this. I just thought it would be, you know, this supernatural thing where I put my boob in his mouth and he eats and we're good to go. But it's not at all that simple. It's also a huge time commitment. Now we're at the point where he eats every 3 hours. So it's nice knowing somewhat of a schedule, but in the beginning they cluster feed, which means they're just eating, you know, every 45 minutes. And there's just a lot, again, like you're growing that bond with them. So you're learning them, they're learning you, they're learning how to eat. Like the whole time they're in the womb, they're just getting food from you and no one had to work for anything. Now you're both having to work I went into it really blindly, but with, I guess, an odd amount of confidence, because I didn't think that there was going to be issues with it. But I have an oversupply and a fast letdown. He has reflux, a lot of gas. So those two things combined are just not great. So we've had to really work on our breastfeeding relationship together. But I will say it is the most incredible bond. I'm so glad I do it. As much as I'm saying the negative things about it, like, I'm just saying that because I want moms to be prepared, and it's something I wish I knew that it was gonna be this much work, but I definitely think it's worth it. Also, something to know about breastfeeding is that your hunger and your thirst will be out of control. So again, talked more about that in my other video, but just be aware that I am constantly ravenous and so thirsty. Don't compare your baby's milestones or your motherhood journey to anyone else's. This is a big one. I definitely fell prey to the comparison trap of Isaiah's milestones. And as soon as I realized I was doing it, I was like, all right, shut that down. We're not gonna do this. He is moving perfectly at his own pace. I mean, people want to compare how quickly they roll over, hold their head up, sit up, crawl, walk, stand, sleep, all the things. And I mean, honestly, think about how many adults you know that can't hold their head up. I can't think of any. Just breathe, relax, have fun, enjoy this state, all the stages, because they'll reach their milestones when they're ready. They will sleep on their own when they're ready. I just think that our culture is overly obsessed with our babies becoming independent because moms have such short maternity leaves, and a lot of guys don't even have any paternity leave. So it's kind of like, how quickly can I get this baby to sleep through the night, because the mom needs sleep because they have to go to work, which I totally understand, but it just puts so much pressure on the baby to be able to sleep through the night when they're 5 weeks old, like crazy things. And I'm just floored by a lot of it. So I did get like super engrossed in it early on, and then like I said, I snapped out of it. Isaiah is doing exactly what Isaiah needs to be doing, and I don't need to be concerned about any of these other babies. I also think that all of this training and overly obsession with their milestones just kind of gets us out of sync with our mom instinct. A lot of sleep training people say, like, don't nurse your baby to sleep, it'll form horrible habits. And if you want to nurse your baby to sleep, I feel like that's just a motherly thing to do. It's very nurturing and there's nothing wrong with it. But then you start second guessing what feels natural to you as a mom. So don't compare your baby's milestones, don't compare your motherhood journey. God chose you to be your baby's mama. Baby blues are totally normal and they are totally okay. It does not mean you don't love your baby. It doesn't mean you love your baby less than Sally down the street. You can miss your old life and be excited about your new life at the same time. You can look at your husband and adore watching him step into this new role as a dad, and you can also miss the time that it was just the two of you spending together. All of these feelings can coexist and are totally normal. It doesn't say anything about you as a mom or your love that you have for your baby. Another thing I wish I knew before having a baby is about mom guilt, because you will experience mom guilt and it is the most confusing thing in the world. You just want to do everything perfect, at least I do. I want to do everything perfect, everything right, and you can't do it all. I want to be able to do it all, but I just cannot. No matter how amazing of a mom you are, I feel like the second you leave your baby, you just feel this instant guilt. Or when you ask for help, you feel guilt. I just feel like at the end of the day, I was either a rock star businesswoman or a rock star mom, but never both on the same day. And it's really frustrating. It's just, but you simply cannot do it all. People are gonna give you crap no matter what you do. Whether you are doing things the recommended way or your own style, people are always gonna have something to say. They're always gonna have their 2 cents to put in. So just remember that you are the parent, you are the mama. God chose you for this baby. So do not give in to the pressure of the guilt that people around you might make you feel, whether that's nursing your baby to sleep or moving them out of your room before the recommended 6 months. You just have to do what's best for you. And I do think that there's something really crazy cool about mom instincts and just our intuition. So listen to that and just know that you are the baby's mom and don't fall into the pressure. If you have a husband or a significant other in your life, you definitely want to include them early on. Like I've said several times, I am breastfeeding, so I felt like, you know, what can Michael really do with Isaiah, because I'm pretty much, you know, I'm the one waking up all night. It didn't make sense for him to really wake up in the middle of the night with me. I think someone should get sleep if they can. So how can he really step in? But just like it took me a while to feel like completely bonded with Isaiah, it's gonna take your husband even longer, especially if they are a working dad. Michael goes in and he wakes up at 5 o'clock and then goes to the gym, goes to work, doesn't get home till after 6. Basically just has 45 minutes with Isaiah before he goes down. So what that looks like for us is that sometimes I will pump a bottle for him to do the last feeding of the night, and then Michael always does bath time. So this is so that they can have like their own special time together, that last 45 minutes of the day. It's really sweet. And so when Michael gets home a little bit earlier, they'll just do playtime, because Isaiah is always up for that last like 2 hours before bedtime, so they can spend some time together. Isaiah loves bath time, so it's like a really positive association between him and his dad, and then getting that bottle, and then Michael puts him to sleep. And those are the 9 things I wish I knew before having a baby. I hope that they were helpful if you're a new mom or an expecting mom, and congratulations if you are. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you never miss another video. And until next time, I will see you next time.